Hello, welcome to Ministry Moments. Oh, I love this every week, just dealing with just simple, to the point, try to get the help that we need. And this is, I like the tab A slot B type philosophy. I can't help it. The, I love the points being pointed. Brother Ruloff, I should say, said to me, you know what the people need, Brother Gray? I said, what's that? They need porcupine preaching. I said, what's that? He said, that's where the people get the point. And I like that, practical. Brother said about himself, he said, I'm not a specialist, I'm a general practitioner. And I like that. Hey, now, you may not like this one today. It may feel like I'm hitting below the belt, but I want to talk to you about finances. And I want to talk to you about, I'm going to give you a financial test. One of the chapters you ought to sit down and study is Luke chapter 16. It's really the stewardship chapter there. And you ought to take time to read those verses about the least of these, mammon, true riches, and digest verses 10, 11, and 12. And then realize how important it is and how God judges how we take care of the least, which is the mammon. And if it rules us and we don't rule it, then we're not going to have the true riches. I believe with all my heart that the great days at Longview Baptist Temple, God blessed because we had financial integrity and we paid our bills, paid them ahead of time. And I honestly believe that. And I believe God looks at you and your financial situation and mine. And he wants to know how we're handling what he's given us. So we shouldn't let mammon rule us. We ought to rule it. And God looks at that to see if he can trust us with true riches. So with that in mind, let's get kind of nosy here. Let me talk to you about a financial test. Are you ready? You ready for the test? Here we go. Number one, boys and girls, do you know how much money you owe? Oh boy, see, I've lost you already. You're going to cut me off, aren't you? But how much money do you owe? Do you know how much money you owe? You should. Number two, do you pay minimum amounts on credit cards? Do you pay minimum? If you pay minimum amounts, about $20 a month, $25 a month, you'll never pay it off. They'll never get it paid off. And boy, will they become a successful business off of you. Not opposed to credit cards if you pay them off. I have a credit card I use for traveling, and Mrs. Ayers takes care of my finances, and thank God she's done it now for 40 years. And don't tell her, but she's getting old. But do you pay minimum payments? Now, my travel card is paid off. I mean, it's not, I don't carry anything on it. Not going to. But you can't rent a car. You can't do anything nowadays unless you've got a credit card. But number one, I'm at financial test now. Number one, do you know how much you owe? Number two, do you pay minimum payments on credit cards? Number three, have you increased your debt level? These are a test now. You got to be honest with yourself. Do you find yourself increasing your debt level? You have a debt of $2,000 on a credit card. Now you expand it to $4,000, then you get approval for $5,000. You realize you're going the wrong direction. You understand that, right? You're not getting rid of it. You're making it worse, and you're using credit to live on when you need to tighten your belt, make some changes. All right. If you want to shut me off now, just shut me off. But financial test. Do you know how much you owe? Do you pay minimum payments on credit cards? Have you find yourself increasing your debt level? Number four, are you at the maximum on your credit card? That's where you'll put the stop sign up. If you're at the max on your credit card, let's say that they say, oh, we've got a max of $4,000. Well, if you're at that, then you better stop and sit down and say, look, I've got to do some strong thinking here about my finances here, because I'm going in the wrong direction. And I'm going to find myself so tight that I've got to increase it and get more debt. That's going to cause you more trouble. Don't forget, God wants to give you true riches. But he can't. Read that chapter now. I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm trying to help you. Luke chapter 16 and study verses 10, 11, and 12. All right, number one, do you know how much debt you owe? You know how much you owe. All right. Number two, do you pay minimum payments on credit cards? Okay. How are we doing? Number three, have you find yourself increasing your debt level, the max on the card, or they send you a 0% card and you, oh, quick, you pull everything off of that and put it over on there. I'm trying to help you. I'm not trying to hurt you. Number four, are you at the maximum on your credit cards? Number five, how many credit cards do you have? You got three, you got four. Is that what you have? How many credit cards do you have? Now, this is a financial test. You don't have to send me your score on it, but I'm trying to help you. How many credit cards do you have? Number six, do you pay credit card payments with other credit cards? I've pastored long enough and pastored enough people, sat down with them and helped them and cried with them and done everything in the world to try to help them. And these are some of the things I've noticed in counseling and dealing with people. Now, do you pay credit card payments with other credit cards? That's not good. Number seven, do you write post-dated checks? That's not good. You write the check out, don't cash it until the 15th. Now, that means you're in financial trouble. Number eight, do you pay interest only? If all you do is sit down and pay the interest on a note or a loan or a card, you're digging a hole you'll never get out of. You'll never get out of. I said, number one, do you know how much you owe? Number two, are you still with me now? All right, number two, do you pay minimum payments on credit cards? Number three, have you increased your debt level? Number four, are you at the maximum on your credit cards? Just ask it now. This is for your good. Number five, how many credit cards do you have? Number six, do you pay credit card payments with other credit cards? Good question. Question number seven, do you write post-dated checks? Question number eight, do you pay interest only? Is that what you do? I know of a church, millions of dollars in debt. And the only thing they could do is pay interest on it and then try to figure out a way after 5 years of balloon note. Oh, I hear the heartache. I hear the heartbreak when it comes to this matter of finances. Number nine, get help and take it. I would say to a family, and Mrs. Ayers would help a lot of families. So you go to Mrs. Ayers and let her, but you got to do what she says. I had other staff members that I was able to send it to. Brother Bowen was excellent with it, and several others. And I couldn't handle all of them, but I had staff members who paid their bills, paid them on time, and didn't get themselves in trouble. And they were able to help family members. Well, this thing of finances. Again, go to Luke chapter 16, read the whole chapter, but read verses 10, 11, and 12, study it out. And, but the financial test that I know I stepped in territory I shouldn't have stepped into, but it's good for you. But the financial test, do you know how much you owe? Do you pay minimum payments on credit cards? Have you increased your debt level? Find yourself increasing it? Are you at the maximum on your credit card? How many credit cards do you have? Do you pay credit card payments with other credit cards? Do you write post-dated checks? Good question. Question number 8, do you pay interest only? And the last question I'll get to you, get help and take it. Will you get help and take it? That's the question. It's not the end of the world. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You're just going to have to give somebody to take control of this thing, and you get in the habit of staying in control of it. You don't have to give it to them the rest of your life, but good grief, let's get this mess cleaned up. You're not going to do great things for God and have a financial mess on your hands. You're not going to do it. God bless you. Thank you for letting me meddle. This is Ministry Moments. Well, I'll call it meddling Ministry Moments, I guess. Join us every week, 3 o'clock Central Time, Ministry Moments, and I know it'll be a blessing. Very practical, very helpful. God bless you.